Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Mark Leibovit, editor and publisher of the Leibovit VR newsletters, also known as VRTrader.com. He was the #1 U.S. stock market timer in the January 2020 edition of Timer Digest. He's speaking to us from Arizona. Welcome back to the show, Mark.
Pleasure to be back. In fact, Timer Digest came out with their annual newsletter dated January 20th, their special annual report, and I was sort of skimming through it. And they named me the third top gold timer for the past 12 months. I'm not going to mention other people's names, but I'm on that list, which I thought was assuring. And then they did this study. Might as well take advantage of it since I have this information, right? So on a 3-year basis, I'm the number 5th timer in the country. Let's see here. On an 8-year basis, where am I? I'm the, I'm the 9th best over 8 years, and over 10 years, I'm the 5th best of all the timers on a 10-year basis. So they have a 10-year, 8-year, 3-year ranking. So I come in on all those multi-year things. Not necessarily in the first position, but just to be in that list at all says you're doing something right. Of course, I'm not going to be right all the time, and we made a couple great calls this year, but our worst call was thinking we were going to get a correction into the end of the year, and the old Santa Claus rally came in and prevailed over that, along with the Fed. But you call them as you see them, and that's where we are with Timer Digest.
Well, you know, making the podium, whether you get gold, silver, or bronze, you got something to be proud of.
Yeah, I'll take all the bronzes they want to give me.
Apparently, bronze medalists are the happiest of all Olympians because they're just happy they made it in the top 3.
That's how I feel.
Silver medalists are the most unhappy because they think of all the things they could have done to win. Anyway, enough about the Olympics. Mark, under the Biden administration, it looks like oil and gas is going to take a big hit, canceling the Keystone XL pipeline project. He's suspending coal and oil leases on federal land. Is there big concern for oil and gas in the U.S.?
Okay. Well, I'm going to come across as a wacko, but I've done a lot of wacky things in my life. And I see Biden as the alleged president, not as the president. And I'm still not so convinced he's going to stay in or remain in office or be the president. And there's a lot of stuff still going on in the background. I know it's not reported in the news and people aren't talking about it, and the conventional press just assumes everything is hunky-dory and whatever, but I still think there's things out there that could drive him from office, if not outright arrested. So I'm really in that camp, and I'm not really giving him credit or being the president of this country. And even if for some miracle he stays there, he's still alleged because of all the criminality that surrounded the election. But to get to your question, I suppose if he does remain in office, or his surrogates, based on what they've been saying, you know, there might be some pressure on the oil market. Last I heard, the world still needs a lot of oil, and it can't stop using oil, and you need oil byproducts to produce. For example, I read if you want to do solar wind and solar technology, there's certain components of that are oil-related products that go into the construction of the solar wind machines and so forth. So you get rid of oil, you're not going to be able to even produce the alternate devices and the mechanics that are needed to operate alternate functions. So it's really short-sighted. We'll see what really comes out of it. The world still needs oil. I know we're trying to move away from it, but I don't think it's going to happen so fast. So we'll see what happens. But short term, from what you say, I guess the traders out there, aren't too excited about the prospects for crude oil or oil-related stuff. But I'm looking at my charts, and we've had a little bit of a pullback in the oil index, but nothing that I would necessarily call an outright sell signal. I mean, oil is still well down off its big highs. It's been recovering, pretty much for the good part of a year, and had a couple dips along the way. It might surprise people and still move up. And how do you know we don't run into some international conflict, whether it's Iran or China, and suddenly oil becomes more valuable over the short term? So I'm not out there shorting oil or giving up on oil so fast, to answer your question.
We'll have more with Mark Leibovit right after this.
Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlan, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
Value from success. Growth in discovery. Golden Arrow Resources is a well-funded gold-copper exploration company with proven management and prospective properties in Chile, Argentina, and Paraguay. Golden Arrow trades on the Toronto Venture Exchange, symbol GRG, on Frankfurt, symbol G6A, and the OTCQB, symbol GARWF. For more information, visit us at goldenarrowresources.com or call Sean at 778-686-0135.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mark Leibovit. Mark, what sectors do you think will do best if this current administration hangs in there?
Yeah, well, I'm still doing the homework on that. If it hangs in there, I guess the ones that everybody assumes should do well, including solar energy, electric vehicles, the cannabis stocks, and so forth. So I think the banking industry may not do as well, but those are sort of three that come to the forefront. There's a little fear that the cryptocurrency world might suffer a bit. There seems to be a lot of anti-crypto mentality floating around now related to that. I know Bitcoin had a nice drop here in the last couple trading days, selling off a bit. So just those three would sort of stick. There's always individual stocks, individual stories that we try to follow, but I think those are the three which really pretty been the story all year. The only concern I have is they're up a lot. You're chasing them now. They've already discounted a lot. So, though I'm mentioning them to you, I'm not as excited about them. I guess there's trading opportunities if they pull back. I hate chasing them after, many of these stocks have been running for a year or two. So it's, a little difficult. But, if there's a correction and assuming the alleged president is still in there or his surrogates, then, we will trade those accordingly.
Why are people so keen on Tesla, a company that doesn't make money?
Because you're asking a fundamental question, because technically it's way up there, and I should even paraphrase that a little bit, because looking at the chart on Tesla, it's up a lot. It's had a huge move. Hasn't shown a sign of a top yet, other than it's had a big blow off here, following its addition to the S&P 500. And I don't see any reversal pattern yet in the chart. So technically, it's tough to buy it up here because it's so extended, but yet it's not showing that it's turned down yet. On the fundamental side, people that I know evaluate it just say that the earnings forecast and the potential for income and some of the not the electric vehicle, the autonomous vehicle stuff that they're getting involved with, and they're underestimating the growth of the company and other income sources. And again, I'm not a fundamental analyst. I don't read the balance sheets, but just summarizing others that are close to it have set much higher price targets on a projected earnings basis that could carry the stock. Now it's in the mid 800s, possibly to $1,000, $1,200 a share. And I'm the one, and I'm taking credit for this. This was at the World Outlook Conference, and this was, I think, February 1st or 2nd of 2020. And, I was there. It was a live conference. This is before all the COVID nonsense hit. And I stood in front of an audience at that time, and I said to them, I sort of like Tesla here. I think, it's where, with the stock, I'm adjusting for the split now because it was a different price back then because we've had the split, but around that time it was trading, I believe, around $130 to $150 range. I have to get the exact number because I have to adjust for the split. And I said at that time, it was maybe 3-4 times that price, and I said it's going to $2,000 to $3,000 a share, and adjusted for the split, that's exactly what it's done. And now it's about 130 then. Now it's where it's trading about 850. So about 5 times of what I projected in price has unfolded in the past year, and I'm still leaning positive. Again, from the fundamental things I'm hearing, I'm looking at the chart. As a trader, it's tough to jump in here at 840, 850 without seeing a correction, but the lesson of the stock is that it doesn't give you much of an entry point. But if you see a little sell-off in it and you're really close to the market and you think you can trade it a bit, the wind may still be at your back with this stock. So, again, that's the caveat. Depends if you're a long-term investor or a trader. If you're a long-term investor, if there is a correction of some kind, pullback, it might be a great opportunity. If just technically looking at the chart, and I'm not saying we're going to get the number, but if it's selling about $144 a share. If it dropped for some reason, whether because the overall market dropped or some story, under 700, like 695, I would jump all over it. That would be a nice trade down there for a possible resumption of the move. So long-winded answer, but it still looks like it's a bull play.
We'll have more with Mark Leibovit right after this.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications, patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mark Leibovit. Mark, what's going on with the U.S. dollar?
I was going to ask you the same question. Because to me, it looks like it's trying to bottom, but yet every time it does, it sort of stumbles on itself. It ran up 2-3 days ago. Now it came down again. Interesting, it dropped the last day or two a little bit, but gold sort of floundered a little bit. I guess you just assume it's down until it's not. We try to, as technicians and traders, you try to pick bottoms and tops sometimes. The most recent signal is a little bearish signal. It ran up, looks like it was going to rally, then it came down again. So until it really establishes an uptrend, I guess you got to be cautious and assume that, particularly with all the spending going on and potential spending in Washington and the valuation of the dollar, makes a lot of sense to me that it should probably overall work lower. But as a technician looking at the chart, it looks so oversold, and we keep gunning for an entry point, thinking that it's going to surprise the bears and take off. So we had little pops here and there. And I'm not, I like to say that I like to be more bullish on it. I'm sort of bullish on it, thinking it's so cheap and it should rally more. Particularly, you just think if there's some international conflict or something else out of the blue, some outlier event that suddenly unfolds, it could just explode and fool everybody. But we're still, as a trader, I'm waiting for a technical clear signal to say that is unfolded. So. Fundamentally, it looks like it's still overall in the downtrend. Technically, it's been way oversold, due for a rally, but whether we'll see that or not. So there's no high confidence trade here. If I was speculating in the dollar, I would just sort of sit on the sidelines and wait for a clearer signal to take advantage of any trading position. I know I'm biased to be on the long side because it's down a lot, but we're not getting the confirmation that I really would like to see.
What do you think is going to happen with interest rates? Are they going to stay ultra low?
I've been saying in the last few interviews that I thought interest rates might start upticking here a little bit, just when it's least expected. Now we had a nice little rally in rates, and then they start to pull back again. And I don't know. The rates look awfully low to me, and everybody's so convinced the Fed's not going to do anything, then they can't possibly raise rates or do anything like that. But the chart reading said that the bond market is in a downtrend, which means rates should be ticking up. So I'm in the category that says look for higher rates in the months or year ahead.
With this real estate boom that's going on, people are citing ultra low mortgage rates as a reason to get into the market. Maybe have they bitten off more than they can chew if the rates suddenly go up?
Yeah, that certainly would deter them a little bit. But the driving force in the real estate market has been diversification and a fear of world events and an exit from the cities. And prices are just going nuts everywhere. I think even in Canada, I hear even in Vancouver, and I don't know if it's that case in Alberta and British Columbia. I know here in the U.S., particularly in sun states like Florida and Arizona, the inventory is at historic low levels. So a lot of it could be a function of people leaving California, leaving New York. Maybe in Canada, it's a function of just the opportunity of diversifying out of stocks that are very high and moving into other physical assets, which seems to be a recommendation of many analysts. But at the moment, I don't know whether the uptick in rates we're going to see is going to kill the real estate market that fast. Assuming it happens, it may take more time. I think the real estate move is getting a little long in the tooth, but it's not over yet, and maybe over the next 6 months or year it will be. And we hit at an extreme again as we did, just the opposite. We see this happen all the time. 2008 and 9, where they're dumping real estate, and you couldn't even find a buyer for your stuff, and now you can't even find a seller. So we're at an extreme of some kind, but for me to pinpoint the exact moment of it, it doesn't look like it's over yet. I think there's still more migration out of the big cities into the suburbs, and from the cold, high-taxed areas into the sunny, lower-taxed areas. So I think the move is still underway, and it's probably getting toward the end, but not there yet. So that's sort of my reading on the real estate market. So if you're got big profits in real estate, you might want to consider thinking where you might want to sell it, considering it's had such a big move, not necessarily today, but maybe within the next 6 months.
Mark, do you still have a special offer for our listeners?
We do at vrtrader.com. We do. You can use the new promo code. We did set it up. It's 2020 half off 2020 half off. That's 2020 HALFOFF. And when you go to vrtrader.com, any newsletter you pull up for any time frame, you can apply that discount.
Mark, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Thank you again for having me, Jim. Have a great weekend.
My guest has been Mark Leibovit, editor and publisher of the Leibovit VR newsletters, also known as vrtrader.com. He was speaking to us from Arizona. If you have any questions for Mark or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet. We're also on Facebook. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.